What's up, guys? Welcome back to Weekly Weird News.
In Cologne, Germany.
Yes, it smells great.
It does. It's actually warmer than I expected.
It's a little hot out right now.
Regretting my attire, but anyway.
Yeah, enough about us.
Enough about us. At this point, it is quite obvious that when people, including us, were lamenting, just how weird and terrible 2016 was, the universe was listening, and it silently muttered to itself, "Oh, you think this is nuts? Hold my fucking beer."
Yeah.
And so here we are in a world where people are still arguing about an election nearly a year after it happened. Elon Musk is warning us about AI and robots being a threat to civilization. An actual nuclear war with North Korea is on the table. And also people whose grandparents fought Nazis 70 years ago are waving Nazi flags in public. Hooray!
Yeah. Personally, for the sake of the show, we preferred things back when the weirdest stories of the week involved people from Florida getting naked and dancing on cars, women claiming to have 3 breasts, and of course, anything involving the Insane Clown Posse. For over 2 decades, the Detroit-based Insane Clown Posse have been a source of widespread confusion and ridicule for their face paint and their absurdly violent lyrics, and their insistence on spraying dozens of bottles of Faygo all over their audiences. That is soda, by the way. It's a sticky mess. And obviously, most especially because of the audience that loves them themselves. The Juggalos. The Juggalos, everyone. Perhaps the most bizarre yet dedicated fan base in existence.
Like their heroes, Juggalos adorn themselves in clown face paint at ICP shows and sometimes even in public, and they treat their ICP fandom as a lifestyle choice and an identity. They've got their own hand sign, the Wicked Clown. They get tattoos of the ICP's Hatchet Man logo. They shout and respond to the Juggalo call of whoop, whoop.
They're surrounding us now. Elliot put out the call.
And through their events and organizations like Juggalo Championship Wrestling and the annual Gathering of the Juggalos, they come together as a family to celebrate their love of not just the Insane Clown Posse, but the world that ICP has created for its fans. At this point, that world includes fandom not only for ICP, but also for numerous other musical artists associated with them and signed to ICP's own Psychopathic Records label.
Yeah, and yes, to most outsiders, the entire concept of Juggalos can seem ridiculous or even scary. After all, Juggalos, like ICP, spend a lot of time really enthusiastically talking about violent murder. ICP lyrics are really, really over the top in their gratuitous violence to the point that it's classified as the subgenre horrorcore, and so naturally a lot of that language carries over to the fans, though most insist the violent lyrics are simply a way to channel their aggression into something non-violent. Plus there's that whole, we were talking about Christianity the entire time. We're trying to slip that in there.
Really, someone needs to take a deep dive into these guys.
I'm sure historians will be toiling over this for years to come, Elliot.
They are a bunch of contradictions wrapped up in an enigma.
Much like the ground in Europe, if you do a little digging into ICP's lyrics,
you never know what you're going to find.
You never know what you're going to find.
Anyway, however, as the Juggalo subculture has grown, it has become linked to actual violence, either through mentally disturbed fans who take the whole thing literally, or through actual Juggalo street gangs. These Juggalo gangs are spread throughout the U.S., almost always in particularly poor areas, where they came about mainly by merging the Juggalo mythology and lifestyle into existing gangs. Mm-hmm. On a large scale, though, they share almost nothing in common, to the point that there are Native American Juggalo gangs affiliated with the Crips and the Bloods, and even KKK and neo-Nazi Juggalo gangs.
Yeah, by 2011, enough serious crimes have been attributed to criminals identifying themselves as Juggalos that the FBI and multiple states have officially classified Juggalos as a criminal street gang, which makes it much easier for law enforcement to investigate suspects if they openly display affiliation, which they're not hiding it most of the time. This, of course, has created a huge problem for normal, non-criminal, everyday Juggalos, who even the National Gang Intelligence Center says make up around 90% of all Juggalos. They have their top men on the case. Mm-hmm. They're analyzing all the data, and they found it out. Essentially, the entire Juggalo subculture has faced increased scrutiny from law enforcement since 2011 over the actions of just 10% of all Juggalos.
Not my Juggalos.
No.
This has, of course, pissed off Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope of the Insane Clown Posse,
of course,
who have been working with their local Michigan chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union to repeatedly fight the FBI in court for the gang designation. The FBI is not down with the clown.
No.
They've been arguing that people are being targeted by law enforcement, denied housing, losing custody of children, and fired from jobs simply for enjoying the ICP's music.
They can't even enjoy chicken hunting anymore. It's ridiculous.
And Jay and Shaggy's frustrations are actually pretty warranted. Despite their violent lyrics, they have always been pretty outspoken about their fan base being one that's built around acceptance, and they're surprisingly woke for lack of a better term.
The demographics of Juggalos are predominantly white, lower class, and from the South and Midwest, which for most people is enough information to conclude that Juggalos are racist, sexist, white trash. But that's not the case. First off, ICP has made multiple songs overtly targeting racists. The song Confederate Flag contains the repeated line, "I say fuck your rebel flag," and the song Chicken Huntin', which I just referenced, is 3.5 minutes of talking about murdering racist hillbillies. Oh, and fun fact, ICP are actually, like we said, evangelical Christians, but they've repeatedly condemned racism, white supremacy, and homophobia, and are so sick and tired of being misunderstood and persecuted that this past January, they announced plans for the Juggalo March on Washington.
So on the event's website, they write, Saturday, September 16th, 2017. That is the date that the Juggalo family must truly shine and show America and the world that we are not a gang, public menace, cult, or any of the other untrue labels they have attempted to slap on us throughout the years. We must collectively show them that we truly are a family that is united by a shared love of music and fellowship. We help and support each other like no other so-called fan base ever has in the history of popular culture. We give each other food or water if someone is hungry or thirsty. We lend emotional support to each other in times of sorrow or struggle, and we celebrate with each other in times of triumph. We may be the outsiders, the misfits, the weirdos, and the underdogs of the mainstream world, but as a result, we have created our own world, one built on a rock-solid foundation of community, creativity, joy, and love.
Man, it's like the speech from Independence Day, except about clowns. It's fucking great. I hope they do that speech live.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the steps of the Washington Monument.
Please, even try to argue against that.
I can't find
These sound like good people to me.
Yeah, they're like the opposite of the Beliebers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. The Juggalo March is on September 16th on the National Mall in D.C., and so is another event. The mother of all rallies, a pro-Donald Trump rally that, while not explicitly racist or homophobic, is coming on the heels of several recent pro-Trump rallies that exposed a very racist subset of Americans, and the case of Charlottesville resulted in one death and several serious injuries when a white nationalist piece of shit drove his car into a crowd. So, despite the mother of all rallies not directly associating itself with Confederate monuments or white nationalism, tensions are pretty high right now when it comes to right-wing rallies, and these guys are going to be sharing a space the same day with a Juggalo rally. And you can't write this stuff.
2017, you wild.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that this is going to erupt in some sort of huge, ridiculous brawl between Juggalos and guys in MAGA hats. The National Mall is huge, and each rally has its own designated area. There's also apparently 2 other unrelated rallies happening there at the same time. So, all the Twitter fan fiction about Juggalos coming to blows with Klansmen almost certainly isn't going to come true. And when Spin interviewed Shaggy 2 Dope about the whole thing, he had this to say.
I just heard about that too, but what can you do? Did he rhyme that on purpose? He's like
Probably.
working 24/7.
He is a rapper.
Yeah. I just heard about that too, but what can you do? Who gives a shit? It's our day to shine too. Fuck them. We don't got nothing to do with that, but they got as much right to do their thing as we do ours. I don't know what the conflict would be. I don't ever hear Juggalos straight up being like, fuck Trump. Nobody really gives a shit. I don't give a shit. If there's something, it's probably because one of them will start it. No Juggalo's gonna bum rush no Trump supporter because we don't give a fuck. We're not there for that. But if some beef does cook, it's probably because somebody on their side is popping off at the mouth.
And regarding all the recent, pro-Confederacy, white nationalism shit that's been going on, Shaggy 2 Dope said this. Why would you still be that angry at anything? A bunch of white supremacists attack people for tearing down a Confederate statue? I didn't grow up the least bit racist. I don't understand what it's like to be racist. It's hard for me to speak on it because it's the dumbest thing in the world. To think that shit's still going on is incredible. It will always go on, I guess, until there's just one race from everybody intermingling and fucking. But I don't understand it, and I never have. It's an alien concept. Why would you do that? I probably sound ignorant as fuck, but I'm so removed from the whole mind frame.
He's not wrong. So don't expect some big confrontation between Juggalos and Nationalists, unless, of course, one of the Nationalists starts shit with the Juggalos. Mm-hmm. And Juggalos are doing this rally specifically to show that they aren't a violent gang, so they're not going to be looking for any kind of trouble. In fact, the best case scenario is that face-painted Juggalos and Juggalettes somehow end up looking relatively sane compared to the other people rallying a few hundred feet away. We can actually say from experience that when we decided to go to an ICP show in Indianapolis just for shits and giggles, you might have been there for shits and giggles. I was a big Juggalo in 9th grade in high school, so I actually wanted to see them live. It was a great time. We were both completely blown away. And by the way, the Juggalos were very friendly and very accepting.
Very nice people.
I know. Elliot was hanging out with them all night.
Good people.
Yes.
We were in the beer drinking area. We were the only people drinking. Everyone there was having a nice time just sipping on their Faygo.
Yeah. I do like the idea of when Shaggy Two Dope was saying that Juggalos help people. They go and they would give food and water to people. I would love to see like Shaggy Two Dope and Violent J just like in an impoverished area handing out Faygo instead of water.
They should do that.
Yeah.
Think about it, guys.
Yeah. Anyways, prejudice, aka judging people before knowing them, is fucking stupid, and we sincerely hope the Juggalo March on Washington succeeds at chipping away at that.
Let's hope so. Whoop!
Yeah, whoop!
Anyway, let's jump over the Pacific Ocean and completely contradict ourselves now by making fun of China. Okay, more specifically, Chinese company names, which were recently cracked down on by the Chinese government. Basically, China's State Administration for Industry and Commerce thinks that there are too many Chinese companies with bizarre and overly long names, and it's kind of hard to argue with them when you actually read some of these.
Yeah. There is a group of young people with dreams who believe they can make the wonders of life under the leadership of Uncle Niao Internet Technology Company Limited. They make condoms, by the way, so
yeah.
Great.
Shenyang Prehistoric Powers Hotel Management Limited Company, which is, story behind this, it's named after a phrase uttered by Chinese Olympic swimmer Fu Yuanhui, who, after, competing the race, said, "I have used all my prehistoric powers to swim." Still doesn't make any fucking sense, though.
The phrase skinny blue mushroom appears in all sorts of businesses, usually restaurants and cafes, and it's based off of an internet video of a guy crying and mispronouncing words. It's a meme, and basically the Chinese equivalent of that dude saying amber lamps instead of ambulance in that old epic Beardman AC Transit bus fight viral video that happened years ago. So
We remember.
I thought it was like a penis reference. but-
Amber lamps.
Yeah.
There's also a few companies whose names express disdain for wives, like Beijing Under My Wife's Thumb Technology Company Limited, and Beijing Scared of Wife Technology Company, and Anping County Scared of Wife Netting Products Factory.
I just wanted to be a painter, and
I'm only here because I'm scared of my wife.
I was sick and tired of staying home all day. She's a real
She
asshole.
told me to get a job, and I did.
Also, some other random weird names include Hangzhou No Trouble Looking for Trouble Internet Technology, and What Are You Looking At Shenzhen Technology Company Limited. And to be clear, all of these are of course translated to English from Chinese, so at least some of the reason they sound so weird is that pretty much anything translated from Chinese to English sounds weird. There was a meme recently where people were translating the Chinese version of Harry Potter back to English, and it was just complete fucking nonsense.
Yeah. It's also important to note that the cultural and linguistic differences between China and the West are so vast that Western companies often go by completely different names over there. They basically try to find Chinese words that together sound similar enough to the actual Western company name, but also translate into something relevant for the brand. So, for example, BMW's name in China translates to treasure horse, and Pampers is helps make baby comfortable.
Nice.
That's
that's like marketing 5D chess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Bing went with being, which the direct translation is must respond, but it also sounds remarkably similar to sickness. And many attribute that to why Bing has a really small market presence in China.
Well, also because Bing is the chosen internet search provider for pornography.
Yeah.
And
you can't get that there.
They don't let you do it.
No.
Especially if you're just looking at thumbnails that move.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you ask us, China's being a total killjoy about this. I mean, we're fine with the fact that the new rules explicitly ban company names that are sexist or discriminatory or pro-terrorism, but none of the companies we just listed are hurting anybody. Except our sides, because they're really funny.
Our many sides.
And potentially the scorn of one man's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, last year the Chinese government banned what they considered bizarre architecture, aka totally awesome, ridiculous architecture. Just look at these buildings. China, come on, man. You gotta be cool in this one. You're doing some good work. Just letting architects go wild, designing buildings that look like they're straight out of a science fiction movie. And then you told them to cut it out and stick to boring rectangles? Now you're forcing companies to adopt boring names? Come on!
Come on, China.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Be
want to
cool,
see,
man.
look at cities that enjoy architecture, and then look at any city that was thriving or whatever you want to call it during the Soviet Union.
Boring.
Just squares and brown.
Concrete rectangles.
Yeah.
Blech. Anyway, now let's get right into the second part of the show where we take a look at the best weird news headlines that we saw this week. Starting with Swiss grocery chain to offer bug burgers.
Yum.
Snowpiercer is real now.
Yeah. Does it come in the form of a single square block?
Nah. So they use mealworms, and it's like they took a garden burger.
The name is right there.
They added the mealworms to it for the extra protein.
Yeah.
They're saying that if population gets more out of control, we're all gonna have to get used to eating this shit. So.
By then, science
Fine.
will have taken over, and they're growing that meat and stuff now.
Yeah, that Impossible Burger.
Yeah.
I need them to hurry up and make that not
Are the
$20
Swiss,
a patty.
Are the Swiss really doing so bad that they have to eat bugs? I feel like they're not. They got all that
No.
Nazi gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still chipping away at it.
Yeah. Oh god, guys, we ran out of the gold. We must switch to bugs.
Switch to bugs.
We moved. Big deal. You didn't. It's fine. Next headline: Big catch. Drunken woman allegedly swims up, bites fisherman's line.
This was in Florida, by the way.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to see a good trick?
Hey, look
Wait,
at me,
she
I'm a
bit
fish.
It. She didn't just tug on it?
Yeah, she was drunk and she was yelling at some fisherman. She's like, blah, 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 and then just came up and like bit the line.
Oh, okay. That's different than what I thought was going on. Do you see? My brain immediately jumped to the fact that this woman was swimming in an area where a man was fishing, and she was like, it'd be funny. Hold my Cosmopolitan. I'm gonna make this guy think that he has a fish in the line, but really he's gonna have a drunken woman on the line.
Yeah.
And the hook went through her mouth, and he was like, "Oh, got a big one."
According to maritime law, you have to marry that woman.
I think that's the truth. Oh,
jeez.
no. I come down here every day looking for a husband. Finally. Okay, but realistically, she just went up and bit the string.
Yeah, no, she was just being a drunken idiot in the water. I don't even know if she was allowed to swim there. Probably not. They don't usually allow swimming and fishing. Well, I don't know. It's Florida. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you gotta do whatever you want. People go out in the ocean and stand there and fish, like at the beach.
God, there's people getting hooks in their fucking ears all the time, probably.
Yeah. Yep. Anyways, it was a lot funnier the way I saw it in my head.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'll let you hold on to that.
Yeah,
memory.
thanks.
British study finds that 1/3 of vegetarians eat meat when they're drunk.
I can confirm this with a couple of vegetarian friends over the years.
Yeah, and they also found that 80% of them, they lie about it later.
Yeah, of course they do.
They don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Moral compass is all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like standing on a giant magnet.
What is it about alcohol that makes you crave the flesh of another animal?
I don't know. It just brings out the best and worst in people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There's also vegetarians that are like, I'm having a cheat week. I just really want some chicken wings. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So you don't care about all those dead animals
After
this
all.
week?
Yeah.
This week is the week they all have to die?
Yeah, also like, little field animals, they die while they're scooping up all that sweet, sweet soy.
Yeah.
You ever think about chipmunks? They're cuter than some of the things we eat. Fish.
No one eats chipmunks.
No, but they die when field mice and all kinds of little animals, they die when they're scooping up all the wheat.
True. Good point.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Atheists. I mean, vegetarians.
Vegetarians. Woman stuck in swimming pool turns to Facebook for help.
How do you get stuck in a swimming pool?
She was really old and she shouldn't have been in the pool in the first place.
Yeah.
She did not have the upper body strength to simply lift herself out of the pool.
Yeah.
So she reached for her phone and went on the local community Facebook page. Like, okay, if anyone's reading this right now, and of course all the mommy bloggers were right there, and they got the message. They came over,
Rescued her
helped her out. Yeah.
Yeah. Like who even needs the life alert anymore? You got one on your phone.
No, yeah, we got
Help!
life
I've fallen
right
and I
there.
can't get up. And then Facebook to the rescue.
Help! I'm stuck in my swimming pool.
Yeah. Wow, you must be really fat.
It's like open water 4. Not very exciting.
It's just a swimming
It's
pool.
just a swimming pool.
Yeah.
The ladder broke off. What do we do?
Oh no! How are they gonna get out? Indian woman given permission to divorce husband after he fails to install toilet. I mean, as Elliot knows, it's a very serious thing over there. They
Yeah, well, and so in reading this article, it was very interesting to me. The nation of India, they do not like the reputation that people like me
yeah,
give it.
I would assume that is true.
They they pretty much say that if you are within the means to get an actual toilet system and you don't, like, you're
Shame.
a bad person.
Shame.
Especially if you're a husband that refuses to do it for the wife, because
And then you wonder why all these people move to China and start companies about how much their wives are jerks.
My damn wife, she made me move all the way to China.
My wife divorced me for not installing a toilet limited company. It's gonna do great.
Register that.
Yeah, they make toys.
You will never be forgotten headstone left behind at airport.
This is just another one of those. Hey, oh, what luck. I'm a local news company that gets to write this headline.
Yes.
Finally, my
Yes.
time has come. Fuck airports. I didn't have my luggage for like a full day.
Yeah, they lost him.
Yeah.
Every goddamn time.
Did they finally get the headstone to where it belonged?
No, no one claimed it.
Who would? I'm so embarrassed. Nah, they can just have it.
Nah, just throw the body in a ditch.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm too embarrassed to
Who
go
is
pick up the
bringing a
headstone.
fucking giant head? First of all, there's no way that it passed the weight limit.
No.
Sir, this is 120 pounds.
Yeah, this is pure granite.
It's gonna cost you, if you want to put this on the plane, it's gonna cost you $300. And the guy's like,
Just leave it.
just like, I'll just put up a little
Just
piece
put
of
it in
paper.
the TSA bucket with all the
Yeah.
water bottles.
Yeah, it's like the thing at the beginning of the TSA that has like Swiss Army knives and like
No
matches and
gravestones.
stuff, and then gravestones sitting there.
Sir,
You could potentially break this over someone's head and injure them. Oh, anyways, yeah. Feces Elementary School to change name after 55 years.
Yeah.
Feces has been gross for a long time, though. What
is
made
it-
the change? Is this like, was it some Confederate soldier named Robert E. Feces?
No.
Like, oh, we better get out in front of this.
Robert E. Feces. Be a great like horrorcore rap group. No, this is
We gotta get ahead of this before people find out.
Robert E.
They were
Feces.
fine with it being shit in elementary school, but when they find out that it was a Confederate soldier,
They should replace one of those Robert E. Lee statues with a granite statue of that emoji poop.
yeah.
Robert E. Feces. Everyone loves that poop emoji.
Yeah.
No, it was actually, so this was in South Korea,
Oh, okay.
and the word for poop is apparently like, it's an old word that didn't always mean poop, and it was the name of this old town.
Yeah.
And they called the school they named the school that in like the 60s, and they were like, don't worry about it, we're taking the word back. And it's like, no, all
Yeah.
the kids are like, they're like, we get made fun of all the time for going to poop school.
Yeah. Is their team uniforms brown?
I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, we're the Feces Elementary skid marks. And we're gonna beat you in soccer.
We're a nasty school.
Okay. Samuel L. Jackson and Magic Johnson mistaken for lazy migrants by Italians after shopping in Tuscany. I mean, he does wear those stupid hats.
They were both like, they had like fucking Versace bags and shit. Some jackass like prankster in Italy posted it to like Facebook as a social experiment, being
Yeah.
like, would you look at these migrants? Look
Yeah.
what they're doing with our money. And then of course,
Well, do you see the one on
and then-
Breitbart where they put the soccer star on a jet ski and they're like, they're
Yeah.
sneaking migrants over on jet skis
yeah,
now.
look at these damn migrants.
And it was like it was a soccer star. They had to apologize.
Just never believe anything you see on the internet.
Yeah, stop believing in things, except for us. But yeah, Samuel L. Jackson does wear those silly hats, the ones that are like cabbie hats.
Yeah, but in this picture, they were both dressed really well. Also, Magic Johnson's like 6'8".
Yeah,
The man is one of the most famous athletes in the world.
yeah.
In the world, he was on the dream team. Damn it.
Certainly not lazy.
No,
They've worked very hard.
he has worked very hard.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too hard.
Yeah.
ESPN apologizes for fantasy football draft sketch that resembled slave auction.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and yeah, a little bit. A mostly white crowd with them being like, all right, who wants this guy on their draft team?
Yeah, just a bunch of like fat, lazy, drunk dudes like who just love fantasy football, betting on football players and saying, yes, give me that. I will give
I'll
this
take
many
that
points.
one,
And,
yes.
yeah,
Yes, he's very strong.
Very easy to see how that could go wrong real quick. Another one of those examples of how many checks and balances are really going on at any kind of major production studio.
None.
Yeah, not a lot apparently. Good dog. Golden Retriever digs up $85,000 worth of heroin.
Great dog.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, you got to sell it. If you came across that much in drugs, would you sell it, or would you turn
I
it
wouldn't
in?
even know how to sell it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You could find someone. Where there's a will, there's a way. If it's
Yeah.
$85,000 worth, I go, I find someone, I pay that person like 20 grand to find someone,
Yeah.
and then the whatever's left, what is it, 65 grand? It's like, hey, just give me like 20 grand right now, and then you make whatever you want off of it. But
Just give me a couple $100 and forget we had this conversation.
you know what I would do? I'd make a treasure map, and I would sell that treasure map to the person, because then I'm like hands off. I've never even touched it.
Well, that's the thing. The guy found it in his backyard.
Oh,
Which
so that's
means someone buried this at some point and probably saw this news and was like, fuck, that's where my heroin was. Shit.
Oh.
I should have got a golden retriever. We would have found it ages ago.
Yeah. I mean, if it's in his backyard, maybe it was the previous homeowner.
Could be. That's police work.
My dumb wife will let me keep my heroin in the house, company limited.
Yeah. He's in China now. He can't, no extradition.
They make bottle caps.
And finally, specially brewed beer for dogs on menu in Croatia's only beach bar for dogs.
I want to go there now.
I do too.
I didn't want to visit Croatia. It was never on my short list of vacation
It looks lovely.
spots,
They
but-
filmed Game of Thrones there.
Yeah. Well, now that they have a dog bar, I gotta go.
Dog bar. Apparently, the beer does not get the dogs drunk. It's just some weird beer made from chicken and lamb or something. I'd love to taste it.
No. Shit.
It sounds like it's just chicken broth, but like cold with some bubbles in it.
I'm sure the dogs love it.
I hope, hopefully, at least makes the dogs fart and burp.
Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah, they're just like regular tourists.
Yeah, just
They
pissing,
they fall asleep
pissing
on the
everywhere.
beach after that. Yeah, pissing all over themselves and farting. Yep, this is the life. Whew.
R.I.P. Spuds
McKenzie, yeah, the ultimate party dog.
Whew,
Hey,
that's-
Brett, come over here, Brett.
Oh, what?
Brett had to
God.
sit here and watch us do this entire thing.
It was really funny.
Is that Hundar of the Cow Choppers?
Hey,
Yeah,
from another life.
yeah.
Huh. Well,
What are we doing?
We gotta go watch video game shit now.
We're gonna
Yeah.
go watch video game shit.
that's right, gamers.
Yeah, we haven't. Brett lives in the same city as us, and we had to travel halfway across the earth to hang out with him.
Yep.
Our first collab since I left is in Germany.
Yeah, I'll come by sometime.
Whatever.
Yeah, well,
How about
we're
we
in
meet on the other side of the world?
Yeah, let's meet in. You know what? I would hang out with a lot more people if they wanted to meet in Germany. That's a
Yeah,
lot
it
better.
shows that they care.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So yeah, I think Brett's gonna come on Tugs and talk shit about games again.
Good.
And now that I've said that, he has to. So we'll see you guys soon. Check out our other videos. Elon Musk, he wants to ban killer robots before they get out of control. And then on Tugs, we make a pretty good case that Call of Duty is responsible for the neo-Nazi uprising in America.
yeah.
So check those out, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.